Good morning, everyone. I have a quick union read. It's a really quick one today. I have a twin flame read that's in front of you, and I also have a message of the day that was very significant. And I did a little bit of a meditation just now with my inner child, so there's a message there. And definitely wanted to bring you some information about a purge that I had yesterday morning and the wounds that came up. But first, let's go ahead and take our breaths. So we're going to do 3 deep breaths. You might want to focus on a beam of light coming in through your crown. It can be a white purification light, which actually includes all colors, or any color that you want. Pull it in, wrap it around your heart. Allow that energy to then diffuse out into your chest, up into your neck and head, your arms, your legs, to your fingers and toes, out to your auric layers and field, out to your home and your neighborhood and your state, and then to the world as far as you want it to go. And let's go ahead and do that now. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you all. Hope you're having an amazing day, and thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. It is the 10:10 portal, and it's 11:11 on the clock right now. How perfect that is. I know that we're supposed to be doing a lot of group meditations today to help clear and send light and love to the portals around the world, as well as to uplift, especially those who are vulnerable, like the children and old people who can't care for themselves, to uplift their energies as well as your own, to help raise the vibrational frequency of the collective consciousness today, dealing with some dark energies that are being thrown at us right now. So I definitely had a bit of a purge yesterday morning, and some of the wounds that were coming up was gaslighting, like forcing, like talking too quickly to cause confusion so that you'll be forced into submission, which isn't necessarily a negative thing, that you're forced into submission, which causes you to surrender into your heart space as opposed to your mind. But it is the way that someone gets you to do that, which may be comfortable or not comfortable for you. And literally gaslighting is a way of causing you to feel like you don't know your own mind, which causes you to give up and feel like someone doesn't believe in you, or they're telling you you're wrong. That's another wound that's coming up here, that a masculine energy knows better than you what's good for yourself. I also had, let's see here. Oh, this was very important too. So a lot about my family energies coming up, and also just energies that I've been around all of my life. The energy of templates of what a man wants from a woman. So we have the template of the bitchy woman who gets what she wants, like wraps the man around her pinky, and also then the very artistic-y woman who is very loving and sweet, and has her own interests, but is always there for the man, so he doesn't have to step up to the plate, that kind of energy. So those two energies were coming up, as well as, so the bitchy, violent person can be the feminine energy who expects the, who basically, I don't want to say emasculates, because, and does emasculate, but it's his choice, right? It's always our choice if we allow someone else to do it to us. But that's the combination there. And also the energy of realizing that your body is not you, right? It's just a temporary vehicle to help your soul navigate through this incarnation, this experience. that you are beyond what your body is. You're beyond what your personality is. The wounds of not being intelligent enough or not exciting enough for the man that you want to want you back, that kind of energy. And also, since I grew up in a doctor's family and I worked with doctors all of my life, seeing lots of doctors who want a trophy wife, right? So either that really that's an interesting word, either that sweet wife who caters to your every whim, right? And perhaps a housewife type of energy, or like I said, the bitchy, violent person who demands their way, and the man who likes that. So that was coming up with the doctors as well. Okay, so that was coming up yesterday, and I hadn't saged. I don't sage every day anymore because I don't feel like I need to, but I hadn't saged in a while, and I had saged before this, and there was definitely things that were said that triggered my purge yesterday morning, but I definitely feel like it was a needed release because I'd been doing a lot of work already, and I'd started pulling some cards for myself the past couple days as well, doing stretches which were bringing up energies that are stuck in my body to release, as well as some guidance from the cards, which I'm actually going to pull for you today. And also then lighting sage around the house too, to just an extra effort to cleanse the energy on top of my own abilities to clear that energy, which definitely felt good. My sister actually, after I purged yesterday morning, it literally pulled my sister in to come over and swap massages with me. So we spent the day together giving each other massages, which was great. And definitely brought up a lot of family things, talking about wounding and that kind of stuff. Not in a specific way, but just how sisters do, which was very good for me. And she can take it as, she's willing to. She doesn't have to see it the same way I do. But my family is very open to what I'm going through. They don't necessarily understand it or agree with it, but it doesn't matter. They're still there for me. So for me, it's very nice to know that. So the first thing I wanted to bring up was, the other thing I saw in my massage yesterday when I was getting massaged was in my back, I was seeing my spine as the elephant. But first I saw on the left side the shaman, which was coming up in a Cryon video the other day, that the feminine mother is actually the shaman. The shaman man was coming up on my left side, back, like my back wing. The elephant's face was my spine. And then on the right side, first I saw a woman looking up to the sky, and then all of a sudden there was a man meeting her and kissing her. So it was actually the lovers, her looking for her man and him looking down like the sculpture I have, and them finding each other, and they were kissing. So there is that masculine side of the relationship between the man and the woman, the feminine side of the shaman, and then the spine was the elephant. It was a very significant picture for me. So if anything comes up around that, please let me know in the comments. And so let's get into the message of the day, and then we'll get into the union read and the twin flame read. I'm going to show you the pictures for the reads, and I'll pull a couple oracle cards really quick to set the tone. This is that is not the union read. Here's the union read. So those of you not familiar with my union reads, this is the Syrian Starseed deck for both reads. The 4D, 5D, and the 6D. The incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine. The left is the feminine, the right's the masculine, and the bridge between them in the center. The underlying energies and the closing energies here. And then here is the general twin flame read, the regular twin flame read for general energies. Again, they are both general reads, so don't force it to fit if it doesn't resonate with you. If you want something more specific to you, my information's below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. And I have a CD out there also called Ashes Twin Towers to Twin Flames. Here is the message of the day. And then here is the complete read on the table there for you with the 7 decks. And for those of you not familiar with the 7 decks, I have the Romance Angels, the numerology deck. I have the Mini Rider-Waite, the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Of course, the Syrian Starseed deck is the main deck. I have the Universal Golden Tarot and the Gilded Tarot in the back there as well. And yeah, so let's get going with these reads and these cards. Okay, so from the Lenormand Reverie, I'm going to pull just a quick energy of the day card. Oh, no, I'm not. because I usually use that later anyway. I'm going to pull from the Metatron deck, and this is actually Amanda Ellis's deck. And I'm going to pull from the yoga deck again too, to give you a position to release. So let's see what Metatron has to say here. Like, what's most important for you to do today? All right, from Metatron. Oh, those two came out real easy. Slid right out. So we have authentic self. Who are you? So perhaps take a second look at who you really are. So maybe some of the things I just brought up as far as topics have triggered something in you to look more closely at yourself. 46 is the Six of Cups, the children loving each other, right? Your inner feminine and masculine hugging each other, which is the card in the Syrian Starseed deck here. And then we have white, purity and innocence, which I brought up the white light in the beginning of the video. So here's also the diamond light with the feather here, purification and innocence here, and also the number 51, which is the King of Swords. So that can have to do with the masculine side, right? That the inner child isn't just the feminine. If you're a feminine, it's the feminine and the masculine aspect of you, right? Which is your masculine here. So 46 of the inner children and 51 of the King of Swords, mastering your truth, your thoughts and words, the blind men and orphans, the diamond light, and the angelic realms. Okay, very much purification here of who are you. And then the bottom of the deck here is, this has been coming up for the past 3 days. This card, another card that has to do with the whole chakra system. So the Kundalini, untapped energy that may be stuck. Maybe there's something stuck that hasn't actually opened up yet. 35 is the wounded warrior. So having to do with surrender, which we were just talking about surrender as well. So how perfect that is. All right, let's go into the yoga deck, see what comes up for the yoga stretches. And they're all upside down and backwards, but it doesn't really matter with this deck. So from the yoga deck, what's coming up for most of you to get benefit from? As I was just getting a little stuck with a lot of cards there. All right, so these, is this one or two? There's two here. And there's actually another one that wants to be seen, but let's see what these two are first. So first you have this stretch. I'm going to show you the picture on the front and the instructions on the back so you can do it properly. If you're not able to do them, please don't force yourself to do them. You know, if you have an injury or post-op, make sure you have permission from your doctor to do these kind of stretches if you're not sure. And then the second one is, so this is all about stretching those arms, your shoulders, and your back into your legs. So that one's supposed to be good for shoulders, arms, spine, and the backs of thighs. So it really gets a lot of different things, and it's good for posture and back problems. And then we have this one, okay, which I had to do yesterday or the day before. It came up for me as well. And here's the instructions to do that one. Okay, so balancing the cat improves balance, strengthens arms, back, legs, and increases stamina, helps with concentration. And then that third card that wanted to be seen is the Sufi Mother's Breath. And I'll let you see the instructions there, just so you can do that if you'd like. Let me do it a little bit closer. Okay. So if you'd like to try that, you can as well. Okay. So now the message of the day. Oh, I have the dice too. For the twin flames, what is the message of the day? All right, we have Mercury, which is the communicator, Virgo and Gemini. We have Aquarius here. And we have the number 1, which is also the Magician, which you can get Gemini, Virgo. I get Aries from the Magician as well, okay? So we have the 1 of the masculine, along with Aquarius. What are we dealing with in Aquarius right now? I can't remember. And then Mercury, which are both, there can be air there, right? Because we have Gemini from Mercury and Aquarius. And then Virgo as well with the 1, which is also can be a Virgo. So it's mostly the Virgo and Aquarius or air energy. Yeah, and it feels very masculine to me, but not the aggressive masculine. It's more of a communicative masculine. So that's what's coming up today. The message of the day was at 9:52 to 53 this morning. 9 is the Hermit, 52 and 53 are the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Right? That can be the two communicating. We just talked about air signs coming up today, and Virgo, which is the 9. And we're still in, what's today? Today's the 10th, so we're still in Libra right now, 10-10. The underlying energy here was the Stingray, the Twin Bridges, the Three of Pentacles reversed, and the Lovers. So here goes the message of the day. The Sea Serpent, the Nightingale, and the Stingray came up all below the Stingray of the Sacral Chakra, which is the chakra of creativity and sexuality and growth, right? So where you create a child from. The Sacral Chakra and the throat. Throat and third eye colors were coming up along with the Sacral Chakra card. So connecting the Sacral Chakra to the third eye and speaking your truth. The songbird of singing and purifying the energy with white light. Purifying with the voice your sexuality and creativity. Plugged in, turned on, fully activated Stingray. 2 as 1. So the group Sting could actually be coming up here. I was just getting Ray Charles too. So I don't know if there's some music festival coming up, but that's a possibility. Or somebody might be in the news. But there's the 2 as 1 doves here, right? The 2 of Cups kind of energy here. The 24 being the Queen of Wands, but it's also the final chromosome, right? Because there's 23, but there's an invisible 24th, right? It's in another dimension. So that 24th, the one you don't see, the Queen of Wands in the Syrian Starseed deck is very much about, the multitasker who's able to do everything, right? She's able to crown herself, she's able to heal, she's able to meditate and see her worth, that kind of energy. It's also the Omega. So for me, it's the end of karma on a more local level, as opposed to the 81 is around the world for me, coming from the numerology book, the Divine Triangle. It's like the end of the age cycle is 81. It's kind of like after 81, you kind of get a free pass as to decide whether you come or go. So then we have the family tree with the number 5 on the 4D rainbow bridge with the 2 as 1 doves. And the family tree, and like my sister and I got together yesterday, it's very much like that energy, 2 people who are very close, and the family tree, so going through family issues or family history on the 4D rainbow bridge to expand, and then separating into 2 separate bridges with the 38, which is the Queen of Cups. So now we have 2 different queens crossing different bridges. Perhaps 2 family members have to arrive from different destinations, but going to and from the same places, right? They have to get there in a different way. The Queen of Wands expanding freedom of family, with the Queen of Cups also here, but who's who? Are you the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Cups? Are you very fiery, or are you more loving and heart-based? What was once a beautiful, loving relationship may be burned bridges today. And this was coming up first for the Queen of Wands, because on the journey underneath here is the King of Wands reversed. Both of them are reversed, the King and Queen of Wands. The King of Wands reversed, new love for self, spiritually, and perhaps an offer of love to move to a peaceful place, or more peaceful place, where they can get over their loss, regret, guilt, shame, or the past, with the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be implementing a plan to find a new workplace and or how to invest in themselves, which requires some spending. So not to be afraid to spend on yourself, to invest in yourself. While the Queen of Cups is receiving their gifts and working hard on sewing the quilt together in energetic exchange with wealthy man perhaps, or abundant man, in transition as the main female high priestess with the thief, and the high priestess can very much be that Queen of Cups or Queen of Wands, but the Queen of Wands is coming up reversed, so I'm feeling like it's the Queen of Cups here, as the main female high priestess with the thief, with that, which then comes up as the number 24, which is the Queen of Wands reversed. The Queen of Wands reversed perhaps steals energies from others and is unaware of it, causing bad health, or those in bad health are draining her. In order to expand, to free oneself, to allow changes, dealing with conflict and the pursuit of happiness, and the main female receiving a message of concern about patient or angel, or that they need to be patient angel, with a message of a higher love from the main male magician who's manifesting on a path of the wounded warrior surrendering, with a message of a move, travel, and or ascension, or that the seal was broken regarding the house and judgment, or an announcement, and or lovers, or codependencies, or the wounded warrior who's dealing with the devil here. The twin plugged into twin with issues at or with the workplace and the lover. So here, someone's just awakening here and actually tapping into their twin and the energies that are going on with them. The first pile here was the dragon, the mountain, the devil, and imprisonment. The devil is upright here. The higher knowing or higher self, aware of the mountains or challenges, along with Dallas, devil, and codependencies and addictions, red eyes, which can be the red eye as well, and imprisonment issues. Obstacle complete, or coming around the mountain when she comes, and the devil or Capricorn imprisoned at present, but perhaps that's a gift to them because it's an expansion experience. They're learning something about themselves by being imprisoned, whether it's an actual prison or just imprisoning themselves in a relationship or a job or whatever it is for them. And also, by the way, after I'd done this message of the day, I was getting 1042, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. And okay, so I can see all obstacles in my way. It's going to be a bright, beautiful sunny day. So going on with this, the second pile, and Spirit's connecting with me. The second pile here was the dragonfly, the rider, the Seven of Swords, the orphan boy or poverty, and illusions of the mind, on an adventure of magic and taking a risk to get out of Dodge and never go back, leaving it all behind for unconditional love. The third pile here is the mouse, the book, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the marriage. The mouse trying to clear the dark energies, but their strength is only so much, right? They're very small, but in this book, they also the Animal Spirit Guidebook, they're small-minded and nervous, nitpicky, and need a project that is meaningful to get them out of that energy. They're scattering their energies, and they're needing to crack codes and be inspired regarding the Knight of Wands reversed, who may be falling short or running out of energy, or perhaps the player who's leaving or going toward a marriage, or the Page of Wands upright and the Empress here, or marriage of abundance, or the Page of Wands upright and the Knight of Wands is reversed. Perhaps they're being nitpicky about the details of their scheduled wedding, and these could be two young people getting married. And they could be siblings as well, fighting within, perhaps fighting about their parents' marriage. Or that can be two people in a marriage fighting like children. Okay? So the fourth pile here is the golden egg, which is the heart chakra, the power lady, the star reversed, and the coffin. The heart chakra of the power lady, who may be too aware of time, looking to see what's coming, or dealing with depression, loss of hope, or stardom, needing to heal and dream, and maybe grieving a death, an end, a transition, dark night, or sun and case closed. Present in their heart, or now aware of the gift it is, perhaps she has dealt with a lot of death in this life or other lifetimes perhaps. The presence or gift of the sun, and you can take that either way, the sunshine or a child. The fifth pile here was the fish, time, the Five of Swords, and expectation. Unable to stop, submerged in dark energy of timelines collapsing and triumphing over expectations and mourning, so somebody could be grieving, and instead of greeting the morning, and instead of mourning like grieving, greeting the morning and sunshine. It's a new day dawning for unconditional love and twin flames. Caviar and fish eggs, the wave of the future, protecting our young so they can be released to a safer, cleaner, more loving and happier world. The sixth pile was the buffalo by themselves, diving deep in the well or for well wishes. in energetic exchange with a man with concern. The Ace of Cups up here is here with self-love, spiritual love, and new love, or exuding love and unity consciousness here, as the buffalo is in the Animal Spirit Guidebook, about being a very well-grounded energy, but that is also heavenly too. So here's that Ace of Cups of new love and unity consciousness, and then 3, 2, 1, jump. The ego mind sees petty differences, whereas the heart mind knows no boundaries and never stops loving, is to be well grounded and heavenly like the buffalo, and where they roam, bringing up the water and emotions around grounding, energetic exchange, and concerns, which is a block, right? Because that's fear when you're concerned. Christ's love comes up here very specifically. To be a savior is to have victims. The same for the perpetrator. Remember the visual that I've given you before, that the victim shifts both ends, right? Because you have the perpetrator on one end as a polarity and the savior on the other. The victim isn't the polarity, the victim's in the middle. The polarities are the savior and the perpetrator. The victim's in the middle. So if the victim shifts their perspective, no longer being the victim, they pull both polarities towards the center, if you can visualize that. So to be a savior is to have victims. Remember that. It's the same for the perpetrator. Remember that the victim shifts both ends, and does the end justify the means? Okay, very interesting there. At 10:55, I then meditated on my inner child to get a message for you guys, which is the Wheel of Fortune, right? A turn for the better. The 55 of the Truth, Excalibur, the Ace of Swords, right? The sword that's been taken out of the stone when you relax and come into 0 point, into your heart. So what I saw first was like an angel. It wasn't specific features or anything, but it was like a glowing blob angel, like a cloud angel on a sleigh, like Santa would be, but a mini one with an angel. And they were coming from the right side, or the masculine side, distributing puffs in increments from the right side to the left side and back. And I was getting patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. And it's funny because my twin's birthday is coming up. So I asked what kind of cake, and he said, well, my cake, and eat it too. I said, how about a compromise in the middle? And remember, we're talking about our inner children. So my child is probably like 2 or 3 years old. She's very little, like in a pink dress and white with, her hair in a bow. And she's being very sweet and like that little sneaky face on where she's just smiling. She's sitting in the middle, looking towards the left. Well, she says, well, how about a compromise in the middle and meet halfway? And then my energy collected to the center, and all of a sudden I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and then I came back to finish the message, and then I see my little girl looking all sweet, sitting at the midline, facing left, waiting for him, right after discussing compromise. The little boy is supposed to come to the center, but she got impatient. They're both in their little child energy there. And so she grabs him, she yanks him in with a smile on her face the whole time, taking him down, like to pull him over. She yanks him over to sit next to, like, you already agreed to compromise, now get over here and sit next to me. That's the energy that was coming up here. So the takedown of the little girl to the little boy next to her, as he becomes an adult, he literally looked like a scraggly prisoner in chains in a chair. So the prisoner of love, but literally like in Failure to Launch, where they were being forced to sit in the chair until they worked things out. So I literally saw a ragged prisoner tied up in a chair, but she's still her little girl smiling there, pretty in pink. As he willingly sat next to her, she all pretty in pink and bows, and her hands in her lap, all proper. So that was the message, which is pretty funny. All right, so now we go back to the union read, and this is from the 8th, going into the energies now. And this was done at 3:58 to 59, which is the 3 of the Empress, the 58 and 9 are the 4 and 5 of Swords. The 4 of Swords for me is the connection to the 5D when you meditate and you're able to connect with your twin. And even when you're not meditating, as long as you're relaxed, we're always able to connect. It's just when you're stressed out all the time, you may not feel that connection. The 59 is the 5 of Swords, of the war within. Because remember, any war without always starts from within with thoughts, right? So we have the union of 4D, 5D, 6D. And the underlying energy was the 5 of Pentacles, which in the Syrian Starseed deck is like the hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, secluded above the group, like being exiled from the group. And they have a bunch of crystals broken on the floor they have to fix or put back together again. But they're in a high vibration. The central energy is the 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange, the 0 point, the circle of trust. And then the final energy is the 10 of Swords, which can be bliss if it's not betrayal. So in exile, in energetic exchange, ending pain or in a painful ending, betrayal, or getting a massage, which I actually was getting a massage with my sister yesterday because we were exchanging. The incoming divine feminine here is the Queen of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Hanging Man. The Queen of Cups finding happiness with self, hanging out, stretching, and identifying pain issues, or perhaps stuck energy in your body that needs to be released, taking a break from putting the puzzle pieces together. The 4D energy here is the 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and Luna, or the Moon. The divine feminine, family, business, or community, or legacy of wealth or abundance. And the divine masculine with the new moon in Libra, the subconscious coming up. Bridging with the 6 of Swords in friendly waters. The 5D here is the divine feminine walking away and within. The divine masculine tower of sudden events, epiphanies, and bridging with the 8 of Wands, energetic exchange, the arrows of love, and the circle of trust, which is also that portal of the ring of fire. The 6D here is reason, which is the Emperor, alchemy, which is the Temperance card, and then the Knight of Pentacles, which is the loyal, humble servant. The divine feminine control, dealing with logic, and the divine masculine proposal, bridging with alchemy and fusion, a higher love. The outgoing divine masculine here is the Chariot, the Queen of Swords, and the Indigo. On the road again, I was getting the Queen of Swords and Indigo offering bliss or to manipulate pain, which is like getting a massage. The divine feminine with the family left behind to be with the Emperor or be with more control or logic in their life. The divine masculine with the new moon, sudden proposal or offering. The bridge between them is the movement to peace. And again, that's that compromise energy that I was getting with my inner child. The energetic exchange between them, like giving each other massages, that same, even exchange of a higher love. The divine feminine with Pisces or Capricorn and Aries, and the Queen of Cups. The divine masculine with Cancer, Scorpio, another Cancer, as well as Gemini or Virgo, along with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords on his side. Between the twins was coming up Sagittarius energy. The Sage of Christ, which can be saging or clearing of unity consciousness, and the 9, the Hermit of Christ or Christ consciousness, and the dance of clearing, the Indigo. The overall number was the 56 of the 2 of Swords, which is being your knowing and either keeping your energy clear or pretending not to know because you don't want to deal with it. You're trying to keep your mind balanced, right, or have peace of mind. The horizontal pillars came out to 15, 16, and 25, which is the Devil, the Tower, and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands had come up reversed earlier in the message of the day. I'm trying to remember if the Knight of Wands was upright or reversed in the read. I'm thinking upright. Yeah, the Knight of Wands was upright in this read 2 days ago, but the Knight of Wands was coming up reversed today. So the 15, 16, 25, and then on the vertical pillars came out to 5 of the Hierophant, 9 of the Hermit, 0 is source energy or space. 18 is the Moon, 14 Temperance card, and then we had triple zeros, and then the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, and then the 56 of the 2 of Swords. So the messages came up around the Devil exploding or has an epiphany about the Knight of Wands and is pretending not to know. We have the Hierophant and the Hermit, which can be Taurus and Virgo energy, or the War Within, and the source energy or the space regarding the Moon and the Temperance card, and a lot of source energy times 3, and remember 3, 2, 1 jump, the turn for the better with the wheel, the Hermit and the Hierophant, and source at night with a higher love, and triple zeros, which is also coming up as like the 144,000, the source energy backing up the 144, in destined knowing and being clear. So then we go into the read in front of you, which is the general twin flame read. The Syrian Starseed deck was cut at 621 to 22, which is the world going into the new journey of the 22 and the Fool's journey. The 6 is the Lovers. And then at 6:30, RMA cut came up for whatever that means to you. I'm just feeling into it. Just give me 1 second. I'm getting RMA, like aura, RMA, 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 RMA. Is that like a cologne or something? I don't know. Whatever it comes up for you. I didn't look it up, but you can look it up in Wiktionary to see what the definitions are, to see what comes up for you. But that was at 6:30, which is the Lovers and the Union, so that's significant. And then I finished clarifying here at 6:46, which is the Lovers and the 46 of the children hugging each other, the children in the garden, and the typical card. And is that, higher innocent love here. The twin flames, okay, the Starseed, which is the Fool, the Alchemy card, which is the Temperance card, Karma, which is Judgment, and then before the read was Abundance or the Empress, and Reason, which is the Emperor. And after the read was the Hanging Man and Transition, which is the Death card. 2 Swords, 3 Cups, 2 Pentacles, 1 Wand. So a lot of emotion here, heart and emotion, the 3. And then we have the Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and King of Cups. So we have the King and Queen of Cups. We also have the Page of Cups prior to the read. And then the Knight of Wands, who was reversed today in the message of the day, but was upright this day. The Knight of Pentacles, who was reversed on this day, or the day of the read. And I'm not sure what that energy is today. We'll see what that energy is with the Knight of Pentacles. And then we have triple 5s and 2 3s, which was very significant here because the triple 5s has to do with major change and transition, and the 33 is the Christ vibration of the unity consciousness. Then we had the 1 of the Magician, the 8 of the Dance, the inner and outer strength, the manifestation of dreams, and also the 13 of the Death or Transition card, 35 of the Wounded Warrior, 56 is the 2 of Swords, 68 is the Page of Pentacles, and 810, which is 0 behind the 81, which for me is that karma ending around the world, backed up by Source. All right, so the code line was all about new beginnings, and the number 5, which again is change, freedom, expansion, the Hierophant, so perhaps commitments, the societal norms, religion, all of those type of energies coming up, the establishment, new beginnings regarding all of that. The messages were coming up as so: expanding and contracting, or in the middle, reflecting sudden events, and then again, expanding, contracting, or staying in the middle and reflecting, bridging hard left, or to the feminine side, to be torn at this time and place, the Queen of Cups expanding in the department of Christ consciousness. And we have the Christ coming up as the Lamb and the blessings and beginnings here. And also the you, so the Lamb was coming up as the you, beginnings. Very interesting there. So it's like the silencing of the Lamb now learning to speak their truth again. Expanding and contracting, the safe bridge, and also safe house. I think that came up on the feed when I was looking for movies to watch the other night as well. So perhaps dealing with safes or safe places, a safe bridge here, expanding and contracting or reflecting on a safe bridge. Not feeling brave perhaps, or feeling doomed at this time as the Queen of Cups and or the Hierophant, or the Queen of Cups dealing with change and expansion and freedom, and that kind of department of new beginnings, or departmentalizing things. reflecting the strong box energy of ownership, right? When you have a safe, it's because of ownership, right? You don't want people to steal what you have. Also, the plant, as in a growing plant, also comes up here in the definition, reflecting a plant, and the stone breaking plants coming up for some reason, the rush, the strong box ownership, the legitimate clearing of emotions with the 5 of change, freedom, and expansion, and the department here of new beginnings. And for some, it could be, you could be dealing with 5 different departments for some reason. But again, it's this department of change with the triple 5s. It's a major change. The female seeing the female bridge left and to be torn, or the Queen of Cups about expanding a department regarding the Christ consciousness, the Lamb, and the new beginnings, changing, freedom, expansion, and the Christ unity consciousness requiring magic and strength was the message there. The 8 of Swords is upright as the underlying energy here in this read. So you see that as the top card over here with the mini cards on top. Below that 8 of Swords, which is the imprisonment energy, was from the bottom up, the Empress or abundance, then the 5 of Swords, then the Page of Cups, and the Reason, which is the Emperor, all upright, and then the 5 of Pentacles reversed, and then the 8 of Swords on top. The Empress grieving or feeling badly for innocent or vulnerable lamb, the Page of Cups, with Emperor recovering from exile, illness, or injury, perhaps feeling imprisoned or trapped. This can also be where the Empress and the Emperor are both grieving, but he's over it already. She's still grieving, and there may be a child in between there, whether it's their child or their grandchild. But the Page of Cups is upright in this read. And this could be grieving their own innocence as well. Receiving new passionate offer from the King of Pentacles looking the other way, like they should be honored by his presence. So the King of Pentacles in this deck comes up very snooty. In the energetic exchange here, with rejection or a negative response on the other end from the sealed divine feminine lover, or Pisces or Gemini or twin, or the King of Pentacles offering passion or inspiration to the Emperor and the Empress, where she is still grieving, but he is getting over it, while the King of Pentacles is anxious about how it will be received, while the Emperor and the Empress are spreading rumors around the world about lover, or Pisces and Gemini, or twin, or coming full circle with their twin here. So the Emperor and the Empress are both upright here in the underlying energy together. Okay, there is a Page of Cups between them who is grieving, or the Emperor and the Empress and the Page of Cups are grieving, and that could be grandparents with their grandchild, right? It can be parents with their child. I'm not really getting a miscarriage here, even though the Empress is there. It's more about the Empress with the Emperor. Although she's still grieving, she may have miscarried, but the Page of Cups is upright here. This could be an honoring of a child that was lost a long time ago as well, and that's why there's grieving here. The Emperor's coming up, though, as over any recovery that he had to make, whether it's illness, injury, or loss, or exile. But there's definitely imprisonment here around their energies here. So at this point, I had to break to eat. And that was at 7:20, which is the Chariot and the 20 of Judgment, which is making a decision or an announcement. The Queen of Cups is upright, breaking patterns, dropping the facade, or perhaps dropping the ball, but with fond memories here, a soulmate or loving kids, in disconnect or at a distance. When it's in disconnect, it's because two people aren't seeing eye to eye, but when they're at a distance, it may just be because they're not seeing each other face to face and they want to. But dealing with a dependent here, or powerless to their spending, or the journey they take, the attention they get. Like, so this is parents worrying about a child who's now on their own, or not seeing eye to eye, or at a distance, with one with a reputation to uphold, and one that he hides or pretends doesn't exist. Or unfair split of time, money, or energy, or choice of journey to take, which is unfair. And this could be trying to decide on a vacation. Issues between the Queen of Cups and the kids or the past, and the 9 of Pentacles reversed, dependence, and the King of Pentacles upright, leading the way, or responsible for a dependent or spender. overworking or it's not working out, dependent spending more than they have, where the high priestess is reaping rewards of their efforts, or he is wondering if he has enough to support the other in the lifestyle in which they've become accustomed. And that can be kids or a partner or perhaps who they're looking towards in the future. But this is all about big changes here. At 7:39 is the Chariot and the Knight of Cups, getting to know each other, and below that was trust. You're being called to have faith. Misaligned dependent, and whether that's a child or a partner who spends too much or spends more than you have. Maybe they're used to spending a lot because you were doing really well, and then COVID came this past year and it was more of a struggle, and they're still spending the same amount of money that they were before, whether it's a child or a partner or yourself. But misaligned dependent or spender, and the high priestess, Pisces or Virgo, who saves, a very different energy. The man with two lovers, or with two of great affection, for two ladies, one betrayed, trying to end the pain of being third party, and the fool who's now free but without a leg to stand on, in love, disconnect, or at a distance. Or the fool freed from immature child, and silent treatment to the fool and disconnect. The Cinderella glass slipper didn't fit, and he is walking a fine line with a snake at their heels now. So very significantly, health came up here, and health care has been coming up all week with the 71 of the Three of Pentacles, which is reversed in the read. And then financial discipline is affecting your love life as well here with the 48 of walking away and within, perhaps needing to walk away from a loss. So health and financial discipline underneath that. And then the King of Wands is reversed, who may not be in good health with issues at work. So he may be very stressed out. He may have, he's the King of Wands, which is very Leo energy, which is all about the heart. So someone who's not taking care of themselves and stressing themselves out is going to end up having heart issues if they're in that Leo energy or ego energy. So that maybe someone's being called to walk away or being called to go get health care. Unable to sleep or rising above, awake and or coming out, exposing all or to sunshine, standing up for self and walking away if needing to. The King of Pentacles is upright here, thinking of a connection and dropping the ball with the Chariot vehicle, or perhaps with a Cancer or someone who's dealing with it. Don't think they're waiting any longer. If his white bread highness, this is the message that was coming up here. It's kind of funny, but if his white bread highness and his lucky charms can't believe past the end of their nose, well then have your cookies, but I'm taking my cake elsewhere. Oh, that's so funny because I didn't put those two together. And that's what came up in the message this morning, is that he wants his cake and eat it too. So if his white bread highness and his lucky charms can't believe past the end of his nose, well then have your cookies, but I'm taking my cake elsewhere, is coming from like the feminine energy, whether it's a karmic feminine in his energy or the twin feminine. It doesn't really matter. It can be either for you. So we have Leo upright and Cancer upright here. The King of Pentacles may be too busy looking up at the connection with Aquarius reversed and Taurus reversed, which can be draining because they're both reversed, or connection with non-judgmental spiritual person, or not calling about a divorce, or not heeding the call to divorce, or think outside the box. The Chariot trapped on the journey, reaping rewards, and disconnect or at a distance from health nut, King of Wands reversed, or King of Wands reversed who's in poor health. As my Nat just arrived to hang out with us. They always come when there's something to say. So somebody's in poor health and they need to take care of themselves. The underlying energy here is a strong connection with one who needs to swallow their pride or eat their words, divorce or alternative outside the box. It's like, they need to heed the call to action, whatever they're being called to do. Even if that's, getting health care for themselves. Imprisoned Knight of Wands rushing in without the tools, and depressed dumping emotional attachments and or multiple loads post-war with lovers and or Gemini or twin. The Emperor Angel or patient at present, or with a gift, and the King of Cups upright, who may be in negative self-talk and spying or lying or dealing with rumors, but he is upright, the King of Cups. He's usually unconditional love. But there's no options here with the Page of Pentacles upright, who may be a good student or child, or an opportunity or invitation to come together and walk away from the wounded warrior or the victim mentality. This is an opportunity for the victim to shift the paradigm. The recent past here is the Ace of Cups upright, of self-love, spiritual love, and new love, or big love overflowing. The Page of Wands inspired by sudden events, epiphanies, or sexual exchange, and knocked for a loop post-war with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy perhaps, and feeling free after settling out, or free from sharing with the Emperor, Wounded Warrior, and the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy, and receiving an offer of love from the Knight of Cups, perhaps after a fight with the Fool, who's now free to go to the Empress. The foundation here is the Three of Pentacles upright, the workplace, perhaps feeling stuck there, with the Ten of Cups, happy family, because that's upright. We have both families upright, the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, so the Montagues and the Capulets are both upright. The Ten of Cups is coming up as a happy family, or ending to a nightmare, and a journey through being drained, overexposed, or dealing with crazy kids, and justice for all, or Libra upright, and Leo reversed, Aquarius reversed in a split or disconnect, where one is imprisoned, one is suffering in silence, and one is happy with their family or emotionally fulfilled at 807, which is the dance, the manifestation of dreams or strength, and the 7 of the Chariot. The central energy is the starseed in a fresh new start, running out of options with the Queen of Pentacles, temptation, awakening and rising above, dumping multiple loads and or emotional attachments. Perhaps they're not sleeping well and rising above, or awakening and coming out. The Emperor, Wounded Warrior, and the Queen of Pentacles, Ball and Chain, are challenged by the Queen of Cups with a happy family and or emotional fulfillment as the Hermit with the light. Spiritually strong and or divorced, and or taming the beast, or Taurus reversed and Leo upright and Virgo upright here. The Page of Cups angel, or vulnerable and patient, in separation with the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, and or deliverance. And that could be a delivery that you're getting to the door as well. Excited, yet dissatisfied, receiving big passion or offer from explosive Hierophant reversed. That could be a Taurus as well. During the High Priestess, there's an explosive Hierophant reversed, right? So that can be a religious person, that can be the establishment, someone who runs the establishment, but just the societal norms. It's breaking a contract, and getting divorced, or thinking outside the box there with the Hierophant reversed. It could be driving with the High Priestess, which also can be a Pisces, Virgo, or Aquarius energy, or Scorpio upright with Taurus reversed and Cancer upright and Pisces upright here. The Page of Wands, who's usually inspired, is unhappy to receive big passion or project. Someone might be trying to push a project on them from explosive group, or their latest sudden epiphany about what he should do or what's best for him or them. Standing up for themselves, though, here, Atlas, burdens, and the weight and the world, slaving or saving in need of sunshine, and drained and or overexposed. In the now moment or crowning is the Knight of Wands, right? The sexy energy with the slow burn, starting over being moderate and or holding on to the lover, depressed and impatient, Chariot or Cancer, or Aquarius and Sag both reversed here, on a quest to get the Knight of Pentacles reversed to move out of the way or go on strike. The Knight of Wands is uncomfortable after death or in the never-ending story, with the King of Swords offering them love, along with the King of Cups upright, sharing their depression with the Queen of Cups upright and the Queen of Wands reversed, who are recovering. The Queen of Cups with fond memories and longing for the past, and the Queen of Wands reversed with sudden jealous rage. And this is the same way that those two queens came up in the message of the day today. The Queen of Cups was upright, the Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Cups with fond memories, longing for the past, and the Queen of Wands reversed with sudden jealous rage, manipulative insecurities, and no tools to deal with those feelings. Depression, and then Scorpio both upright and reversed, which can be the same person in vacillating emotions, or it can be two different Scorpios, one upright, one reversed. But we also have Aquarius reversed and Gemini or Virgo reversed here. But they're getting off the fence here, no longer taking directions from others. So there's definitely someone separating from the group, not allowing them to dictate what is their life. Standing up for all the hard work that they did for peanuts and no vacations, and lack of appreciation from the kids. And then soon as the alchemy, the blending, the higher love, coming clean or changing up with new information, This could be cleaning up the act or space as well. With new information coming in, clarifying about Atlas, burdens, and or betrayal and ending pain, in a twist of fate coming together at work, clinging, or Libra reversed and Scorpio reversed, and the horny devil, the King of Wands reversed, and the workplace fire, but not in his favor, or the workplace is fine, like it's stable, but things going on there are not in his favor. The twin flames are being seen as the Knight of Pentacles reversed, stuck, stubborn, or blocked, tired, unable to function or move, with the truth being told to awaken the Page of Pentacles, which can be the good student or child or opportunity, and the Empress, who may be withholding to save for new life or be playing hardball and dissatisfied with the Knight of Wands rushing in from an uncomfortable place or not dealing with their own emotions, with the Hermit driving or chauffeuring so that the Knight of Wands can face the ugly truth. Let your friends help and very soon come up, as well as heart-to-heart conversations. And both the ugly truth and heart-to-heart were coming up here as shows and movies. Pisces or Capricorn reversed here, along with Taurus, Virgo, Cancer, and Sag, who are all upright. The Capricorn may be stuck or refusing to move or work. And around them is the King of Cups upright, presently the Knight of Cups offering love to the one who may be defensive in hopes of a big love here, with a joyful reunion and a happily ever after. Clearing blocks here, post-war, going within, finding peace away from manipulations. Then we have the 833, which is the 8 of the dance and the manifestation of dreams, and the Christ consciousness, the 33. We have new beginnings, pride, but even more so, spiritual career, and happy endings, relationship changes, and love partnership. And the movies I'd watched that night from the 8th to the 9th were Hall Pass and Love on the Spectrum, which is such a cute show. The Love on the Spectrum is such a perfect example of what love should be, right? Being so kind and appreciative of each other and speaking their truth, not like beating around the bush. They're very matter of fact about what they need and what they want to make them happy. It's very cute. Let's see here. It's funny because I just find myself smiling the whole time when I'm watching it because they're just so sweet. All right. So we have the energy of the High Priestess or the Dark Priestess, depending on your situation, with the keys and the book, and perhaps very low cleavage to create or great passion. It's like someone like showing their cleavage to a great passion, like they're sitting right next to them. In the hours of love or energetic exchange, ending karma of feeling shame or sadness for what the Queen of Swords says, and that even could be like me talking to you and getting triggered by something I say. Perhaps at night, when all the world's asleep, the questions run so deep for such a simple man. The instability lurks, needing to swallow their pride, to humble oneself and save for a new life, perhaps in need of a vacation or a romance movie, or to hang out and awaken with the 10 of Pentacles family, business, or community in separation after transitioning to the 6 of Cups, which is a very loving exchange, like in Love on the Spectrum. It's very much that beautiful, innocent exchange between two people. The never-ending story of innocent, true love. The prisoner of love here comes up again. This came up in my message this morning. Prisoner of love and ascending fast, the workplace co-creating in a new start for the Knight of Wands upright, challenged by the Queen of Cups. So here's a knight, who comes in to sweep them off their feet and save the day, and the Queen of Cups is very loving, kind, and intuitive. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, which can be stubbornness and fixedness, but also blocks and the inability to function when you're emotionally distraught, right? The patient with, this can be someone who's disabled as well. The patient with, or the Knight of Pentacles reversed being patient, or is a patient, and that's why they can't move, with the King of Cups post-war, or in an inner growth and needing to swallow their pride, to heed the call to awaken to abundance of the family, business, or community, or the world, or heaven on earth, and be the light in the storm before and or after the transition to soulmate, love, and or loving kids, and or past memories of. the Empress grieving and the Emperor getting over, the Page of Cups at work with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, blocking the King of Cups from new love. And that Page of Cups can just be a message of love, and it's puppy love. The Emperor and Empress could be two who have puppy love between them. It could be a new love. So the Page of Cups at work with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, blocking the King of Cups from that new love, and a new fresh start challenged by the Queen of Cups upright, higher love after a growth spurt, post-war, dealing with PTSD, with the Knight of Wands now upright, needing to swallow their pride and awaken to the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community separation, or the storm after a death or ending, or a near-death experience, or clinging to kids, past memories, or pure, innocent love at 8:43, which is the dance of the reunion of the Three of Cups coming together. So now I'm going to pull a few cards for you guys, see what comes up. This is from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. Take another deep breath, if you like. All right, let's see what comes up. What is the final message regarding these messages today? We have the Fox, and the Fox in this deck is very loyal. They are in their confidence in the solar plexus with all the yellows here. There's tinges of orange here. So there's a little bit of sexuality and creativity here around their confidence. And you see they look very confident. And this is coming from the frog, right? Maybe who's gaining their confidence. Or maybe this is a foxy chick and the frog is scared to approach them. And there's the cosmic egg of the world awakening with the Kundalini wrapping themselves around them. But this isn't the card with the tail in its mouth. This is where they're open. And again, the seal broken has been coming up all week. So here's that energy of the collective awakening. And then we have the vulture here too. And you see that the fox is looking one way. And this is like what I saw with my little girl. Like, so if this is the little girl in the little pink dress at 3 years old, and then she's sitting there with a little smirk on her face, pulling the masculine over, right? The prisoner who's tied up in the chair, the prisoner of love energy, right? The frog who doesn't feel worthy yet, like they haven't grown into their prince yet. And then we have the collective on the side here looking on, watching that example of what's happening as help the rest of the world awaken here. And the cosmic egg is the crown chakra. Here we have the vulture too, which is that energy of the old. It even comes up sometimes as an eagle who's really old, right? The old wise one who just waits around for everything else to happen, and then they come in for the cleanup duty, right? They're just there in case they're needed. And we have the busy bee there too, right? Because they're always good helpers to clean up. They're the ones who always stick around at the party and do the dishes and clean up because they love that, right? It's the busy bee. They like to keep busy and physically functional. They carry more than their weight, but that makes them happy. And then we have the transformation spirits connecting with me. It's letting people do what makes them happy. Like what may be awful for you may make someone else very happy. So when everyone finds their own position of what they love to do, then everyone is happy. And then we have the phoenix rising here, right? Diving, the eagle diving, right? So here's the eagle becoming an old man, experienced their life. You know, maybe it was a hard life. He looks really worn out and kind of dried out. But it's time, after diving for so much, it's time for him to be reborn. There's the phoenix who's been diving over and over again, like the eagle in my story. It's making me cry already, just thinking about it. From my harmonic egg meditation, where the first thing that came in was the eagle's life of the masculine living alone because his partner died. And the pain of that eagle, knowing that he would live his whole life without that other eagle. And it was so painful. But here is that life. Finally, he gets to be relieved from that life in order to rise again. And this is that rebirthing process here. And there's the bear, then as the winter's coming in, right? So the bear will have time to hibernate, to rebirth themselves, to rejuvenate, to become new again, which is what I love about the winters here, is that they clear all the stuff out that's been bothering you, you know, the bugs or the overgrown plants, everything gets killed and rejuvenated so you can start anew every year. You have a fresh chance every spring, just like the cycles. And there's the spring coming out with the hummingbird, right? Clearing so easily by the fluttering of their wings and seeding with their beak, right? So here is where the winter meets the spring. How beautiful is that, right? Where you don't need all the rainbows here because it's time to sleep. You know, you're in that other world, you're home. And then you wake up to the spring and you're fresh and new and you're ready to transmute all those energies. It's like right now, you're going into a space where you don't need to work so hard. It's saying you're going to be in hibernation soon, so take it easy. It's time to rebirth yourself, to allow your cells to all become new again. And I'm going to show you the next 3 cards because they look like they're definitely a match right there. The bottom of the deck is the oyster, right? So it's saying hibernate. This is stay in your clam, keep your energy to yourself, keep your feelers out. But yeah, don't feel like you have to like be on like the hummingbird would, because right, that's for the new springtime. You don't have to be in this energy right now. You know, take care of yourself. Whereas maybe the spring you're supposed to help others, maybe now is more time to start hibernating and taking care of yourself, doing your own self-healing like I was doing yesterday. So here you see all of the lower chakra energies. You have the reds, oranges, and yellows. And this is like that collective 3D energy, right? Where someone sees a fight and they have to watch, or an accident, or they have to watch, or it's the famous person that everybody wants to grab a piece of, or they want to be their best friend, right? It's a very low vibe energy. And there's the 2 low vibes on either side of the bat, right? Who's trying, you know, they're trying their wings out there in remote viewing and outer space, or, you know, trying their hand at something that they're not very adept at, and they're in safety and security issues with all that red in the picture, and perhaps going too far away from home, maybe getting lost. And that's what I'm getting from the card today. He's lost. He doesn't know where to go. He thought he'd try going into space, but now he doesn't know how to get home. He's scared. Right? And then there's everybody, you know, rushing to see this event, and maybe this person, you know, got lost on the way because they didn't really know what they were doing. They just were following the crowd, and then they got lost and scared. It reminds me, when I was 8 years old, we moved, and I had to walk home from my old school to the new house, and I got lost, and nobody cared. You know, my mom had 5 kids. If one's missing for a while, you know, no big deal. So, but I just remember that still to this day, that feeling of being lost and that nobody cares. And that's the feeling that's coming up from this card, right? I was just following the crowd, doing what I was told, but I got lost somehow. And now here, this guy's really bold. This is the hothead. Like the elk is normally a great father, a great person, but when he's not eating right, he loses his cool and he can become very arrogant. You know, not someone anyone would want to be around. So for the elk here, it's very much about food, but we also see this energy up here, you know, being his hot-headedness is connecting to this planet out here. So what is that? You know, and is it we're dealing with a lot of energy dealing with Mars. We're being told that the energy is being redirected to Mars, the love light, in order to solve some of the war energy over there, which is going to cause really cold winters this year, or perhaps an early winter, which is probably why hibernation's coming up, so that we can hibernate and get ready to hibernate and not worry about it. So, yeah, so energy from Mars here, which is that masculine aggressive energy, and that the innocent will get lost in space. I don't know if lost in space is coming up for some of you guys, but again, this is that very low D, 3D energy, so it's kind of like saying stay out of its way. You know, don't deal with the hothead. It's just the energy from Mars that we're dealing with right now, which can trigger some people. It can trigger the crowd, the 3D crowd. It can trigger your fears when you feel lost and you don't know how to get home. But don't worry, all is well. Okay, and we're going to pull from the Journey of Love as well, and I'll read from both. What was the first card? The fox was the first card to come out. Let's see what comes out from the Journey of Love. I also heard, and most of the stuff, the off-planet stuff, I usually hear from either Sam the Illusionist or Elena Denon or Elizabeth April, because they all talk about the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So you can check any of their videos out if you'd like. But they're also talking about dark energies invading again, making new portals at the South Pole where we had cleared out the South Pole before. Now energy back there again. But again, we're being guided to send love light around to all the portals around the world, as well as to uplift the collective energy all through October, while the dark energies are trying to infuse their energy in. And it's nothing to fear. It's just love and light to be. So let's see what the Journey of Love says here. All right, we've got 2 cards. The bottom of the deck is Acceptance, the 55 of the Truth. And this has to do with the enchanted forest, of being witness to something really beautiful here. That seems like an illusion, right? It's the enchanted forest, but to accept the truth of the love that is. The Ace of Swords here with Excalibur and the fairy tale. And we have the 68 of the Page of Pentacles, right? That opportunity or invitation to drop into your heart. And we have very much the heart and high heart type of energies here combined, of the physical body and the etheric body and the compassion from both hearts together. It's like joining as one in the truth of what is and accepting that truth, no matter what you see. And the cards that came out are the 65 of the King of Pentacles, who is very significant in the read today, and the breaking of them, right, from the 3D paradigm or template. And then we have the 28 of the Twin Flames and the sacred convergence of the twins. And here's that energy at the 9/11 memorial of like a popsicle pop, being pushed up from below in an etheric dimension. Here's the visitors, and I've always gotten the Pleiadians come to visit us at the Statue of Liberty, which is in line with that message that I got, several years ago. So here is the 9/11 memorial. There's lots of people witnessing, as we just talked about, on the underlying energy, somebody witnessing the divine love, the witnessing of the divine love, perhaps in the twin flames coming together, are the Pleiadians wanting to come into to our reality in order to witness that. All right, so here we have that Pleiadian energy. You see them, they're very tall and golden in that unity consciousness. Coming up from the white light in the 9/11 memorial, very close to the Statue of Liberty, where the etheric portal is from. The etheric altar is from Atlantis, where I've seen the Pleiadian ship come in at the Statue of Liberty to meet the angels at the base of the Statue of Liberty, which can be the 9/11 memorial as well. So there is a sacred convergence of the twins here, of the 28, of choosing a new path, of the King of Pentacles. And there's that like smash, clash, what's the song? Where I crash into you. Like crashing in, and this is like in my little girl too, like yanking the masculine over from his side to get into the middle with her to sit with them, and then him being the prisoner of love. And I'm also getting the energy of like the new child laying on the mother's belly when they're first born, right? How much crazy action there is within the vortex, but in a really good way. It's the breaking of you and sacred convergence to come into one. The breaking of two to come into one, into oneness. That's what I'm getting, Spirit's connecting with me. It was interesting too. I was doing some clearing on my sister yesterday. And I was clearing out entities that didn't belong there. And this one that I thought was a really dark man, like a prisoner type of man. And he, he's looking at me, kind of creepy. And he lifted out with no effort at all. Just wanted to be carried away. Like they were totally depleted of energy. They couldn't fight anymore. So there's a message there for you too. So let's read these for you. We have the breaking and the fox, which are very similar to that masculine energy. Let's see here. All right, so first the fox. So of course the fox is earthy. Where are you, fox? Smart, strong, partner or mate, wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When in balance, they're magical, ingenious teachers, and monogamous. When they're out of balance, they're sneaky and unsure of their identity. To bring them back into balance is partnership and connection, right? They really are meant to be two as one, which is the messages that have been coming up all week this week. And then we have the breaking, the 65, which is the King of Pentacles. Right? And the King of Pentacles has mastered everything. He's gone through all 4 cycles, right? The wands, and then the cups, and then the swords, and then the pentacles, and he's mastered pentacles. So he's experienced it all. And here's the breaking of him. You are breaking apart. You might not understand it at all. There's not so much to be understood, but the simplicity doesn't mean it's easy to endure. You may worry that you're going too far, that you may not recover from this, or ever come back together again, right? The 2 being broken down. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest, like the hibernating of the winter, before the storm is best. So take the rest if you need it, and then dive into the storm. Let yourself be broken-hearted by the divine so that you can become your truth, become all you are meant to be. It is better to have the heart broken so that it grows than to be broken-hearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair or frustration you may feel, you are being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine, as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It is going to be the making of you. And the poem is simply called Love. Love is a special closeness that sings from the heart, that warms my days and nights, and that feels good, that makes me smile, that makes me glad to be alive. Rise and be loved.